The ultimatum and the solution. The message arrived on a quiet Thursday morning. Every digital display on Earth simultaneously flickered to the same broadcast. Commercial billboards in Times Square, smartphones in Tokyo, tablets in Lagos, even old television sets in rural farmhouses. The alien face that appeared was unsettlingly smooth, with 4 glowing eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and skin the color of burnished copper. People of Earth, the alien spoke, its voice resonating with an unnatural harmony that sent chills down human spines worldwide. I am High Commander Zex of the Novalian Collective. Your primitive world has been observed since your first radio transmissions. The time has come for your assimilation. You will surrender your planet and serve as a Class 3 labor species or face immediate extermination. You have 15 Earth days to decide. The transmission cut abruptly, leaking billions in stunned silence. In the emergency response facility beneath the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, representatives from 28 nations sat in shocked disbelief. General Elena Vasquez, head of Earth's Unified Defense Force, slammed her fist on the table. This is madness. We've barely established a permanent base on Mars. We have no weapons capable of interstellar combat. UN Secretary Okafor remained outwardly calm, though his eyes betrayed his fear. We need solutions, not despair. Does anyone have something, anything, we can work with? From the back of the room came a voice that didn't belong to any world leader or military commander. I might have an idea. All eyes turned to the speaker. Captain Maya Chen wasn't supposed to be at this meeting. As commander of Earth's deep space salvage vessel Fortune Finder, she fell well below the security clearance typically required. But her expertise with recovering and repurposing abandoned satellites and spacecraft had earned her an observer's seat at the Secretary's specific request. Chen was compact and wiry, with short black hair streaked with premature gray and dark eyes that missed nothing. Her hands bore the calluses and scars of someone who worked with tools and machinery daily. Under the scrutiny of the world's most powerful people, she stood and moved to the central display. 3 months ago, my crew and I discovered something in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter that we've kept classified until we could properly investigate. She tapped her wrist device, and the main screen displayed images of what appeared to be twisted metal fragments embedded in a large asteroid. These aren't natural formations, they're wreckage, alien wreckage, and there's a lot more than what you're seeing. The room erupted in voices until Secretary Okafor raised his hand. Captain Chen, are you suggesting we've had alien technology in our solar system all this time? Yes, sir. Based on our preliminary analysis, this appears to be an ancient battlefield or a starship graveyard. The technological level is far beyond ours, but much of it is damage. However, Chen's eyes lit with determination. If we could salvage enough components, reverse engineer what we find, and integrate it with our existing technology. You're proposing we build a warship? General Vasquez asked incredulously. In 15 days. No, Chen replied firmly. I'm proposing we ask for more time by invoking an ancient defense clause. Dr. Amir Singupta, Earth's leading xenolinguist, leaned forward. What defense clause? While analyzing the transmission, my ship's AI detected embedded metadata, essentially their equivalent of fine print. Apparently, the Novalian Collective follows a code called the Stellar Mandate. Any species facing assimilation can claim the right of demonstration, a chance to prove their value as equals rather than servants. If we invoke this right, we get one standard Novalian cycle, about 1 Earth year, to build the vessel that can survive combat against one of their ships. Secretary Okafor's expression shifted from despair to cautious hope. And if we succeed, then Earth joins the collective as equals, with full autonomy and protection. And if we fail? Someone asked from across the table. Chen's face hardened. Then we're no worse off than we are now. But at least we buy ourselves time. Within hours, Earth had sent its response, invoking the right of demonstration. The reply from High Commander Zex came quickly, his copper face betraying surprise and perhaps a hint of amusement. "Very well, humans. You have impressed us with your knowledge of our ways. One cycle is granted. Build your vessel using only resources from your own system. If it can withstand battle against even our smallest warship, you will earn equality. If not, the alien's 4 eyes pulsed with light. Your species will serve until the stars go dark." 48 hours later, Operation Phoenix was officially launched. Captain Chen's Fortune Finder led a flotilla of hastily retrofitted mining vessels and research ships to the asteroid belt. As predicted, the ancient battlefield was vast, the remains of dozens of alien vessels scattered across a cluster of asteroids. Chen stood in the command center they'd established on the largest asteroid, surveying the organized chaos as teams cataloged and transported salvaged components to the makeshift construction facility. Dr. Sengupta approached, his tablet displaying translations of alien markings. "We've identified at least 11 distinct technologies from different civilizations. Some appear to be at least 50,000 years old, yet still functional. It's extraordinary. Can we make them work together?" Chen asked. "Theoretically, yes. But there's a more immediate concern." Sengupta's voice dropped. "The Novalians have sent an observer to monitor our progress." Chen frowned. "They don't trust us." "I suspect they're amused by us. To them, this is entertainment, watching a primitive species fumble with technology beyond their understanding." As if on cue, a sleek shuttle bearing Novalian markings approached the asteroid base. It docked with unsettling precision, and a single figure emerged. The Novalian observer called himself Krav. Unlike High Commander Zex, his skin was a paler copper, and his 4 eyes were arranged horizontally rather than in a diamond pattern. He moved with fluid grace despite the asteroid's low gravity. "I am here to ensure compliance with the terms of your demonstration," Krav announced, surveying the human operation with barely concealed disdain. "You may use only what you find here and the primitive tools you brought with you." Chen stepped forward, offering a formal bow that Dr. Sengupta had assured her was the appropriate greeting. "We understand the terms, Observer Krav. We will respect the mandate's requirements." Krav's upper eyes narrowed slightly. "No species has ever succeeded at the demonstration, Captain Chen. The fact that you even know of its existence is unexpected. Humans are full of surprises," Chen replied evenly. As the weeks passed, the massive puzzle of creating a functional warship from disparate alien technologies began to take shape. The engineering challenges were immense. Components designed by different species, using different principles, never meant to work together. Liam O'Neill, Chen's chief engineer, exemplified the human spirit driving the project. Working with a salvaged power core, he cursed colorfully as it once again failed to interface with the propulsion system they'd extracted from another vessel. "It's like trying to connect plumbing from 20 different centuries with duct tape and prayers," he muttered, wiping sweat from his brow. Dr. Eliza Kimura, formerly a theoretical physicist at CERN and now heading the weapons research team, approached with an idea. "What if we're thinking about this backward? Instead of forcing these systems to speak the same language, we create a universal translator, an interface layer that can mediate between incompatible technologies." O'Neill's eyes widened. "That's brilliant. We don't need them to understand each other. We just need something that understands all of them." This breakthrough became the cornerstone of Project Phoenix. Earth's best programmers created a revolutionary adaptive interface, allowing the hodgepodge of alien systems to function together in ways their original designers never intended. Observer Krav watched this development with growing concern. "This approach is unorthodox," he noted one day as he observed the humans testing their integration system. "Humans specialize in unorthodox," Chen replied. "It's how we've survived on a planet that's tried to kill us since day one." 3 months into the project, the skeleton of their vessel was taking form in the makeshift construction facility. Unlike the sleek, symmetrical designs favored by the Novalians, Earth's ship was angular and asymmetrical, it all a patchwork of different metals and composites salvaged from the alien graveyard. During a rare quiet moment, Chen stood with O'Neill and Kimura, gazing at their creation through the viewport. "It's ugly as sin," O'Neill said with undisguised pride. "But it's ours," Kimura added. "The first true human warship built for interstellar combat." Chen nodded, feeling a swell of pride mixed with apprehension. "It needs a name." "Phoenix would be the obvious choice," O'Neill suggested. "Rising from the ashes and all that." Chen shook her head. "No, this ship represents more than resurrection. It's our statement to the galaxy." She paused, then smiled. "We'll call it Defiant." As they spoke, an alarm blared from the detection systems. Kimura's tablet flashed with urgent data. "Captain, we're picking up unusual readings from the far side of the asteroid field. Something big just dropped out of faster-than-light travel." Chen's blood ran cold. "The Novalians?" "No," Kimura replied, her voice shaking slightly. "The energy signature doesn't match anything in our database, but it's massive. At least 5 times the size of the Novalian shuttle." Observer Krav appeared suddenly, his copper skin pulsing with what might have been fear. "They found us," he whispered. "Who found us?" Chen demanded. Krav's 4 eyes focused on her with unexpected intensity. "The reason this battlefield exists in the first place. The hunters that even the Novalian collective fears to name. As the unknown forging the defender." The massive vessel approaching the asteroid field moved with unnatural precision, it all absorbing rather than reflecting light, a shadow sliding between the stars. Captain Chen ordered all non-essential systems powered down, hoping to avoid detection while they assessed this new threat. Observer Krav had gone unnervingly silent, his copper skin dulled to a matte finish that Dr. Sengupta explained was the Novalian equivalent of extreme fear. "What are they?" Chen asked in a hushed voice as they watched the shadow ship glide through the debris. Krav's horizontal eyes blinked in sequence. "The Void Harvesters, ancient enemies that consume technology and knowledge. They are why the collective formed thousands of years ago. Mutual protection. This battlefield," he gestured to the asteroid field around them, "was one of our greatest defeats." "Why didn't you warn us?" O'Neill demanded. "Because they were supposed to be extinct," Krav replied. "No sightings in over 5 centuries. Their return now, when humans have disturbed this graveyard." He left the implication hanging. Chen made a snap decision. "Resume work on the Defiant, but at minimum power. Dr. Kimura, I need options for accelerating our timeline." "Captain, even with round-the-clock work, we're still at least 5 months from completion," Kimura protested. "Then we need a game-changer." Chen turned to Krav. "Observer, the terms of the demonstration allow us to use anything we find in this battlefield. Does that include anything we might discover from now on?" Krav's upper eyes narrowed. "Technically, yes. But..." "Good. Liam, prep the Fortune Finder for immediate departure. Full stealth mode. Dr. Sengupta, you're with me. We're going hunting." Using the shadow ship's own mass as cover, the Fortune Finder slipped deeper into the asteroid field, sensors passively scanning for anything useful. 3 tense hours later, they found it. A small vessel, unlike anything they'd seen before, partially embedded in a rotating asteroid. "Definitely not Novalian," Sengupta whispered, studying the peculiar geometric patterns etched into its dark hull. "These symbols don't match any language in our database." "Life signs?" Chen asked the ship's eye. "Negative, Captain. However, I am detecting a power signature unlike anything in my records. It appears to be waiting." The salvage team boarded the mysterious craft with extreme caution. Inside, they found a ship designed for a species with very different physiology. Curved corridors and oval doorways that forced the humans to crouch. At the vessel's core, they discovered a pulsing crystalline structure, suspended in a field of shifting energy. "It's beautiful," Sengupta breathed, reaching toward it instinctively before stopping himself. Chen's salvager instincts were screaming that this was valuable beyond measure. Can we safely extract it? After careful analysis, O'Neill determined they could remove the crystal and its containment field. Whatever this is, Captain, it's not just a power source. The way it's connected to the ship's systems suggests it's more like a brain, an artificial intelligence. Chen asked. More advanced than anything we've ever encountered, O'Neill confirmed, and possibly our game changer. Back at the construction facility, the crystal core was successfully integrated into the Defiant's developing systems, though not without challenges. The alien AI initially rejected all attempts at communication, responding with cascading errors when they tried to interface with it directly. Dr. Kimura, working through her third consecutive sleepless night, had a breakthrough. We're trying to speak to it in our language or in code. What if it communicates through something more fundamental? She programmed a series of mathematical sequences, prime numbers, the Fibonacci sequence, simple geometric principles, and transmitted them to the crystal. Essel moved closer to their position. Project Phoenix faced its first real test, and humanity's deadline suddenly seemed much closer than 1 year. The response was immediate and stunning. The crystal pulsed with light, and every system connected to it hummed to life. On every screen in the facility appeared a simple message: I recognize intelligence. How may I assist the builders? The alien AI called itself the Archivist, the last remnant of a species that had fallen to the Void Harvesters eons ago. It had been in dormant mode, awaiting contact from intelligent life that could aid in its mission, preserving knowledge and opposing the Harvesters. With the Archivist's help, Project Phoenix accelerated dramatically. The AI provided insights into integrating the disparate technologies, optimizing systems beyond what human engineers had thought possible, and most critically, developing defensive capabilities specifically designed to counter the Harvesters. Observer Crab watched these developments with growing amazement. This should not be possible, he muttered one day, watching humans and the Archivist working in seamless coordination. No species has ever successfully communicated with the Ancients' technology. Perhaps no species needed to as badly as we do, Chen replied. As the Defiant took shape, the Void Harvester ship maintained its position at the edge of the asteroid field, as if waiting. Earth's deadline from the Novalian Collective was approaching its halfway point when disaster struck. A series of explosions ripped through the construction facility, damaging key systems and injuring several workers. Security footage revealed the culprit, a human technician placing explosive devices at critical junctions before stealing a shuttle and fleeing. A saboteur, General Vasquez concluded via encrypted transmission from Earth, but working for whom? The Novalians or the Harvesters? The answer came unexpectedly from Krav himself. Neither, the observer admitted, his copper skin flushing darker with what Singupta identified as shame. The saboteur was acting on orders from a faction within the collective that opposes the demonstration right. They fear what humans might become if given equality. You knew about this. Chen confronted him. I suspected, but had no proof until now. Crab's 4 eyes met Chen's gaze directly. Captain, you must understand. No species has ever adapted to salvage technology as rapidly as humans. Some in the collective fear your potential. Others, like myself, have come to respect it. The sabotage cost them precious weeks of work, but also forged an unexpected alliance. Krav, breaking protocol, began actively assisting the humans, sharing Novalian technological insights that helped repair and improve the Defiance systems. 5 weeks before Earth's deadline, the Void Harvester ship finally moved, accelerating directly toward the construction facility. They're done waiting, O'Neill announced grimly from his station. Sensors indicate weapons charging. Chen made the call. Launch the Defiant now. Ready or not, it's time to fight. The warship was 87% complete, its main weapons operational, propulsion at 90% capacity, but with several secondary systems still offline and portions of its hull unfinished. As the Defiant detached from the construction facility, Chen took the captain's chair on its bridge, surrounded by her core team, and surprisingly, Observer Krav. "You're not required to join us," Chen told the Novalian. "This isn't your fight. It became my fight when I saw what humans could accomplish with scraps that the collective considered worthless," Krav replied. "Besides, I am still observing your demonstration." The Defiant moved to intercept the harvester vessel, its mismatched hull plates and asymmetrical design belying the sophisticated technology within. At its core, the Archivist coordinated systems that were never designed to work together, creating a ship greater than the sum of its salvaged parts. "Harvester vessel in weapons range," Kimura reported. "They're scanning us." "Let them look," Chen said confidently. "Archivist, activate stealth protocols." The technology that the ancient AI had helped develop caused the Defiant to seemingly fragment in the harvester sensors, appearing as scattered debris rather than a cohesive vessel. Using this advantage, Chen maneuvered into attack position. The battle that followed would later be described in the annals of both human and Novalian history as the miracle at the graveyard. The Defiant, despite being incomplete and crewed by a species new to interstellar combat, executed maneuvers that the Harvester couldn't anticipate. The adaptive technology integrated from multiple alien sources allowed them to shift tactics faster than their enemy could respond. When the Harvester finally scored a direct hit, the Defiant's hybrid shield system, combining technologies from 3 different civilizations in a way none had intended, held firm. "Return fire," Chen ordered calmly. Full Archivist enhanced payload. The weapons that the ancient AI had helped design struck the Harvester ship with devastating precision, targeting vulnerabilities that only the Archivist knew existed. The massive shadow vessel shuddered, then began to break apart. As the Void Harvester vessel disintegrated, its remnants scattering across the asteroid field to join the ancient battlefield, Chen realized they had done more than survive. They had won decisively. 3 days later, a Novalian fleet arrived, led by High Commander Zex himself. The copper-skinned alien regarded the Defiant with all 4 eyes widened in what humans now recognized as astonishment. "You not only built a functional warship from salvage," Zex stated, his harmonious voice tinged with disbelief, "but you defeated a Void Harvester, enemies that have plagued our collective for millennia." Chen stood proudly on the Defiant's bridge, her team beside her. "Does this satisfy the terms of our demonstration?" "It exceeds them," Zex acknowledged. "Humanity has earned its place as equals within the collective. But I must ask, how did you achieve this impossible feat?" Chen exchanged glances with her crew, then smiled. "You gave us scraps, assuming we'd fail. You didn't understand that humans have always been at our best when faced with impossible odds and limited resources. Throughout our history, we've transformed junk into tools, problems into opportunities." She gestured to the Defiant around them. "This ship isn't just made of salvaged parts. It's built from human ingenuity, determination, and hope. You saw a primitive species playing with technology beyond their understanding. We saw a chance to forge our destiny among the stars." Observer Krav stepped forward. "High Commander, I respectfully suggest that the collective has much to learn from our new allies. Their approach to technology, their adaptability, these are strengths the collective has lost over millennia of stability." High Commander Zex considered this, then inclined his head in what humans now recognize as profound respect. "Then let us begin a new era of cooperation. Earth will not only join the collective as equals, but will lead our combined forces against the returning harvesters." As the diplomatic details were arranged, Chen stood at the Defiant's viewport, gazing at the stars that were now open to humanity not as servants, but as equals. From salvaged scraps in an asteroid graveyard, humans had built not just a warship, but a future among the stars. The Archivist's voice came through the ship's systems, a melodic tone that had become familiar to the crew. "Builders, my creators would have admired your species. You have accomplished what they could not, turning the technology of the defeated into the means of victory." Chen smiled. That's the human way, archivist. They gave us scrap, and we built the most feared warship in the galaxy. I wonder what we'll build next. Behind her, Earth's first interstellar warship hummed with power and possibility, a testament to humanity's greatest strength, the ability to create something magnificent from the cast-offs that others had discarded as worthless.